On Ask the Girls, it's a long one, but we'll get through it. Someone said, I am a single mother of 3-year-old twins. I had them shortly after finishing high school. When I told their father I was pregnant, he denied responsibility and cut off all communication. Thankfully, my parents were supportive and they helped me raise my kids. I left them in the village with my parents and I moved to town to try and build a better future for us. Earlier this year, I met a man who seemed genuinely interested in me. I was upfront with him about having twins. He said it's okay. He's okay with that. A few weeks ago, he told me that he wanted to be with me seriously and even offered to start paying my house rent. I eventually let him into my house. Though we weren't intimate at first, I started feeling more attracted to him because of the way he showed commitment. On his next visit, we became intimate. Since then, he's been telling me how much he loves me. I love him too. However, during one of our conversations, he mentioned that if we ever had kids together, he would want to raise them in his rural village so that they can learn his language. We're from different tribes, and I have no issue with our children learning his language. But the idea of moving to the village for that reason doesn't sit right with me. I feel off. I'm not sure what to make of it. Can it be that serious? What would you advise me to do? So, in summary, she has children already in the village, right? With her parents, out of circumstances, consequences. However, she's met a guy who's like in love with her, wants to take care of her, wants to be with her. She's clearly loving the intimacy in this situation as well. However, he says, when we have children, I would like for us to move to the village so that they can learn my language. And I don't know when it became a geographical qualification to learn your mother tongue. Like, when was it geographically constricted? I genuinely do not know. But I don't think it's a big enough issue to take up arms. I think just sit down with him and tell him, I understand that you want your kids to learn your language. I love that. Honestly, power to you. And I want them to learn my language as well. However, we don't have to move to the rural area because that's not something that I want to commit to. I do not want to uproot my life and move to Gishagi simply because our children need to learn the language. They can learn it from anywhere. And if there's no other reason other than you want them to learn their mother tongue for us to move to Gishagi, then I don't see why it's a necessity. We can keep them here and teach them the languages ourselves. Again, not a big enough issue to take up to arms or take up any arms. I think it's one of those kind of conversations. Just tell him, hey, I'm not interested in moving to Shago. That's it. I'm not ready to do it. I don't want to do it. And I'm not changing my mind anytime soon. So do not hope that I will change my mind. It's just not something I'm interested in.
Maybe it's just me, but first of all, yes, that's just a conversation to have. But I'm assuming that while you're working in town, you're working towards creating an environment where you can bring your children.
Yep.
So you can stay with your children.
Yep.
So it's just about sitting down and asking him, okay, so when we move to your rural village, since it's going to be, economically cheaper, do I come with my children to your rural village? Do you see, like, there's so many things to put into account to having, all of us uproot ourselves and go to the village. Also, when we move to the village, are you coming with us? Or are you going to be a long distance partner? And I just don't want that. Number 3, it feels like it's too soon to be having these conversations. I feel like you've just met this person, he's shown interest in you, he's paying your rent and all of these things. You've just had intimacy for the second time. First time, and I feel like it's just too soon to be having these conversations. This is the time for you to, katiwa, like wacha kupeleke out. Why are you always meeting at your house? Mbona hamuendi out? Mbona kupeleki disco? Why are you not going out dancing? And even though you're a mom, you are deserving of all of these things. You're deserving of being taken care of, or all these romantic things. So I feel like it's too soon of a conversation, and it could be love bombing from where I'm looking at it. It could be, how when you and your first boyfriend used to say, when we have a daughter, we are going to name her this, and we have a son, we are going to name him this. It feels like that sort of conversation because it's too early
Yeah,
and too
buju buju,
unserious in a
bedroom,
relationship.
what do you call them? Bedroom banter.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk.
It doesn't feel like, yeah. Have you seen his house, first of all? I'm only seeing conversation about him coming to your house. Have you seen his house? Have you found out if he has a wife?
I do have a question though. There's something
Yeah.
that's popped up in my mind. What if he's also like just trying to chuck responsibility of raising children to someone else? Because he can see how you're living. You have children. You're living in Nairobi, but you don't have to physically be there to take care.
Exactly.
The actual phisical work of raising your children is not on you. Your parents are raising your child. You can't even say that is. It almost feels like you're a distant aunt during Shimbali, right? So maybe he's seen the convenience of having that situation and he wants to replicate it because it's easier to just pawn off the responsibility to someone else. So that's why it has to be discussed. Like, you have to understand what the situation is. And that's question of, is he coming with us? That one is also very important. Like, you need to understand all the perspectives. Just put down your questions, think about all your questions, think it through, yeah? Think it through so that you have all your questions answered at the same time.
Yep.
And see how it goes. But for the most part, yeah, just as Triya said, it just could be a buju.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just saying in passing.
Men will talk. Men
Yeah.
will talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said he offered to parent. Does he parent? Has he started parent? Girl, acha
Mambo ni mengi, it's
acha
feeling
kufunikwa macho
it's
wewe.
feeling like a lot is coming at you fast.
Yeah.
It's true. It feels like love bombing. Yeah, shtuka.
Relax. Breathe in. Hii ni Nairobi. Haujui town.